bound to find each other at every point in their careers. Once again, it is Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch from Hell in a Cells to Elimination Chambers to the main event of WrestleMania. These two always seem to find their way back to each other. And I will say the time these two found each other, the main event of WrestleMania, wasn't a triple threat that also included Ronda Rousey, where Becky Lynch was not even one of the champions in the match and still found herself with both championships by the end of it to close out WrestleMania 35 at MetLife Stadium just a couple years ago. What a kick right on the button of Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair just explodes out with a spear like a torpedo at Becky Lynch. These two just tumbling outside of the ring. There's going to be no control in this one for official Ryan Tran. The only thing he's going to be able to do is just disqualify this thing if it has to come to that. With Becky Lynch representing her brand, you see she is covered in red. The Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, the SmackDown Women's Champion. It's a champion versus champion situation, but between these two, it is so much deeper than a title. It is as personal as it gets. Becky and Charlotte, two of the four original horsewomen from NXT. Oh, was thinking manhandle slam, but it was Charlotte. Oh, I was thinking Charlotte was going to go for natural selection, but instead a big boot to the back of the head of Becky Lynch. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch jump-started the women's revolution 7 years ago. The thing is, though, for Charlotte Flair, she feels that she is the women's revolution, that there is nobody that can touch her. Charlotte Flair will always find a way, in some way, to fill her ego up to the brim. Now the question is, will that ego deflate like a balloon if Becky picks up the victory here at Survivor Series? Oh, look at the knee to the side of the head of Becky Lynch. I will say this. Right now, Charlotte Flair is doing a great job of making sure that Becky is nowhere near in condition for victory over the Queen as Ryan Tran starts his count. It doesn't seem that Charlotte wants it to end that way whatsoever, as Charlotte looking to risk it all. Not going to hold back whatsoever. All the way up to the top. Oh my God. Charlotte was thinking moonsault. Becky Lynch was saying, not today. And knocking Charlotte off the top. Charlotte could have a severe knee injury following that landing. Let's get another look at this. The way that Becky pushed Charlotte. When you land on your knees that way, it pushes all of your weight onto your feet, and the reverberation shoots up to your knees, and it can do some serious damage if you land a specific way. Your body is not meant to fall like that. However, Becky Lynch now it's Becky Lynch who's down at the hands of Charlotte. Charlotte is crawling, trying to pull herself up. Charlotte, desperate times, desperate calls. And both women make it back into the squared circle just in time. Becky holding on to that lower back. Charlotte, her knees are causing her a ton of pain. The fury in both of the eyes of these two superstars says the story. Their hatred of each other is so much more than brand supremacy between Raw and SmackDown as Charlotte lays out Becky. Their tension has been going all the way back to their time in NXT. Charlotte ruling the black and gold era of the women's division in NXT. And as soon as she could get to the main roster, Charlotte Flair was already a women's champion. I mean, Charlotte Flair was literally born for this. It is in her blood, being the daughter of the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. But she's her own woman. She's built her own legacy. She is truly just that good. Every word that comes out of her mouth, she follows it up. She lives up to her own hype. Charlotte using her long wingspan to her advantage over Becky Lynch. Charlotte thwarting the attack of Lynch, but Lynch able to get out of the way, and Charlotte couldn't evade that kick to the side of the head. And looking to build some momentum. Around the world we go. Becky looking to drive Charlotte on the mat, but Charlotte, nice counter to roll up. And an absolute display of raw power with a single-armed power bomb to follow it up with a stack up. And Charlotte thought she had it won. And a nervous laugh out of disbelief, thinking that it was all over. Absolutely incredible display of strength. Charlotte Flair shoots for moments like these. The moments where she pulls the best of the best from every single opponent that comes her way. She wants that challenge. Charlotte Flair is the champion. She's been champion time and time again. So she always wants that challenge to better herself. A true student of the game. Becky trying to out-wrestle Charlotte, but right now not working to an advantage, as Becky with a back elbow to the SmackDown Women's Champion. Another shot to Charlotte Flair. Becky Lynch just trying to stomp away. And here comes a back exploder. But Charlotte starting to fight back. And a fall away. And Becky gets thrown into the corner and a kip up. And the Queen has risen like a true star as she shines in the night. Charlotte Flair, one of the greatest to ever grace the presence of WWE. Charlotte saying, all these people know that I'm the greatest. Charlotte Flair, she's getting a stroke on her own ego. She talks the talk, and she also walks the walk. When you're Charlotte Flair, whether you like her or you hate her, you can say what you want. But you just have to be careful. Sometimes there are consequences. Charlotte Flair with the moonsault. Becky rolls. But Charlotte able to capitalize a second time. Charlotte Flair took the chance that Becky would roll all the way, and she capitalized anyways. Charlotte has had a smile on her face where you'd think disbelief, that shock, that nervousness would come through, but not for Charlotte Flair, because she always keeps a smile on it. She keeps that smile because it's cockiness, it's confidence. She knows that no matter what, she's going to get through it. Becky Lynch, roll up. And a right by Becky. Becky gets countered by Charlotte. Oh, and a shoulder to the midsection of Becky, and a head ringer catches the Raw Women's Champion off her rocker. Becky Lynch is down. Charlotte Flair has that look in her eyes, that glare and stare at the Raw Women's Champion. The thing is, though, Becky's in the ring. Charlotte's on the apron. And now it's time for a big time from Becky Lynch, the man. Becky with a leg lariat off the top. And Becky Lynch laying out Charlotte, but not quite enough to put Charlotte away for the 3. Off the top, that leg drop. Popping and dropping, but still not enough to put the Queen away. The crowd electric with "This is awesome" chants. The time of year where Raw and SmackDown fight for brand supremacy, where both brands collide. But right now, it's more than just pride. It's personal. These two can always find an excuse to go at it with each other. And look at this submission on Charlotte. Turn into a pinfall. Charlotte kicks out. Nice counter by Becky. And an uppercut. These are two of the biggest superstars in WWE. As hot as it gets. Oh, went for a big boot, but instead the back elbow. Nearly knocking Becky Lynch out cold. Look at this one more time. We got to get another look at this. Boom. Just nailing Becky Lynch. I couldn't tell if it was a back elbow or the back of the head of Charlotte colliding with the front of the head of Becky. Either way, Becky got the brunt of the force on that trauma. Charlotte saying, "Run away, Bex." But Becky is not a quitter. Oh. Becky's still hanging on as Charlotte nails Becky with a big boot. And Lynch stays with it. Now Charlotte's starting to feel the frustration that builds in. Earlier, it was all smiles for the SmackDown Women's Champion. Right now, the frustration builds up the longer this match goes on. The more that Becky Lynch shows her resilience. Now the question is, how much does Becky Lynch have left? Oh, Becky was looking to lay out Charlotte, and she does. Looks to put her away. She hooked the far leg, but not quite enough to keep Charlotte down for the 3. Becky looking to follow it up by just pulling on Charlotte. That inverted DDT, however, was not enough to put the Queen down. Becky now is the one in control. The tides have turned. And walks over Charlotte. Charlotte didn't like the disrespect by Becky Lynch. And Becky just hammering away on Charlotte, who grabbed the boot of Becky. Becky dragging Charlotte into position. Becky in the corner looking going. The man Becky about to go big time. You ought to call her Big Time Bex because she's heading up high. Oh, went for the senton, but nobody home. Oh, went for the boot one more time. Man, handle slam. But the thing is, Charlotte with incredible ring awareness, able to know that she was right by the ropes, able to get that boot on the bottom rope to force the rope break. When it comes to ring IQ, you might as well call Charlotte Einstein. What? No. Becky's going to do it. Becky's going to mock Charlotte Flair all the way to submission. A modified heel hook of some sort, not quite a figure four. She just called her the B word. And it ain't beautiful, that's for sure. And now it's Becky who has the pressure forced on her with the counter. Becky, now the one forced to grab the bottom rope. They have up until 5. Otherwise, this match will end in disqualification. I highly doubt either of these women who are thirsty for blood want this match to end via disqualification. From beginning up until this point, it has been all fire from both of these women, not holding back anything. Oh, and a big boot knocks Becky Lynch off the apron as Charlotte Flair has this thing turned around. Let's get another look at this one more time. Big boot that lays Becky Lynch to the outside onto the floor. Charlotte went for this earlier. It did not work as she got knocked all the way off the top. This time, she looks to soar, looks to risk it all. When it's Raw versus SmackDown, you risk it all, and she gets it. But I don't know if she got all of it. Did she get enough of it, though? Charlotte Flair had quite the words, full of passion, full of emotion, following that moonsault, but she didn't get all of it. Charlotte gonna somehow find a way to follow up on the momentum of whatever she was able to capitalize on that moonsault as she pulls the far leg and now pulls the arm, pulling the playbook of the disarmer from Becky Lynch's playbook. Becky Lynch, look at the way her arm is bent, though, trying to prevent it from fully being locked in as Becky's on her knees. Becky, if anybody knows how to fight free of the disarmer, it's Becky Lynch, with it being her own submission. Charlotte Flair with the patented chops to the chest of Becky Lynch. You can feel the confidence oozing in the Queen. Oozing from the Queen, should I say. Becky tried to counter. Not today. Nice try. Becky had the ropes, though. Got played at your own game. And Becky Lynch stands tall for Raw. Talk your smack, Becky Lynch, because the Queen just got outplayed. Talk about a game of chess where the Queen goes down first. Becky Lynch is victorious here at Survivor Series. And the blue brand goes down. And the red brand rises. Let's get a look at the closing of this match. Charlotte Flair holding onto the ropes. The official Ryan Tran saw it the second time. Becky Lynch realized as she looked back at the official, realizing his eyes were nowhere near in a position to be able to spot that Becky Lynch could grab the ropes. And Becky Lynch able to beat Charlotte Flair at her own game here at Survivor Series.